Greetings, my friends. I've decided to do a lot more videos for you because you've been asking me for them, and you know your wish is my command. So I'm going to start doing them a little faster and a little bit more condensed, and we'll see how you like that, okay? So today I'm going to make a little ring box. These are so neat for gift giving season, or really any time. And I start by just taking off the hardware, because I'm probably not going to use it. I like to make a nicer little closure anyway, and it gets in the way of what we're doing. So take that part off and just set it aside for something else. And next you're going to want to paint this. And what I do is I don't paint the whole thing. I just take some black, in this case because the background of the design is going to be black, and I go around the edges where it could possibly show, and I always do the back. This is a very inexpensive acrylic paint. I got it at Michael's. You can get it at Walmart. There's a lot of places to get it. It's just that same kind of paint that you see all around. And right now I'm just going to go around the edges. It's like that. Don't forget to make a little ridge around the bottom. I usually put some felt on the bottom. They've got this really cool felt at Michael's, and it's got it's over in kind of the general crafts section. And it's got sticky already on it, and boy, that really saves you a lot of time. While our paint's drying, let's make our texture. I'm using a texture sheet called Cloodle. It's from Lisa Pavelka, and I'm going to put my clay on top of it. I think you'll find you get a better texture if you put the clay on top of the sheet, because that allows you to press it down like this and really get a nice texture on it. The texture needs to be deep so that when we decorate it, we can really see the parts that are on top and the parts that are recessed. I made little templates out of paper. They're just, I think this was a greeting card I used. And I know how many I need of each one. And I'm going to cut them out to fit on the box. Alright, so I've got all my pieces ready. I'm applying my mica powder to the top of this. So we're just using a brush this time. When you're doing other textures and you're really just wanting to make a different effect, I'll show you. Just use your finger and you can go over the top parts that are raised. You get a different look than you do in this kind. But today we're intentionally going down into the recessed areas. And I'll take this and put it back into the container, and it can be used many, many times. So now I'm ready to apply these pieces to the box, and I'm going to use Weld Bond. Looks like this. I've only found it at Hobby Lobby. I haven't been able to find it at the other stores yet. And I've got kind of a stiff craft brush. It's kind of nice to have one like this because they're very inexpensive and you can throw them out, because you know, I don't know. I'm not going to be washing glue out of a brush. I know it's not going to work and it's going to be frustrating. And I'm going to do it one piece at a time, because if you try to cover the whole box with glue and then go back, sometimes the glue sets up too fast and it's hard to handle. So be sure you get it edge to edge. It dries pretty transparently, and so don't worry about getting it over the black, but it's just better to have it edge to edge than, you know, have a loose part. I'll set this aside and start applying my pieces to the box. So you see that even though this was carefully cut, it's got a little bit of excess. That's going to happen every time because clay is really soft and yielding, and the heat of your hands affects it quite a bit. So be sure you've got some nice clean edges, at least in 2 spots. And when we get ready to put this in the oven, we'll trim it one more time. But once you've got your pieces placed the way you want them, go around just quickly and check and make sure everything's nice and tight. Still don't trim these off yet, okay? Just make sure that everything's really flush and it's laying down really nicely, that your edges here are kind of even. that you like the way the seams go together. There's any number of ways you could blend these seams out, but you know, this is not that kind of project. This is something that should be easy for you to do, and I really like the way it looks this way, so that's all up to you, of course. But I've got areas to trim here, and I'm going to wait for 10 minutes because I'm going to put this here, and while this is sitting, that weld bond's going to cure just enough to really stick these pieces down for me. So even though they're not even baked yet, they'll be much more secure. When I go to trim around them, they won't shift and move so much. So now you can take your craft blade and trim around the edge. Just lean it against that edge and it'll come out nice and flush for you. Well, I finished up this little project, and it's been such a fun one. And as you can see, it doesn't look a lot like the plain wooden box that we started with, which of course is the whole point. So I painted the interior with some just gold paint, acrylic paint. You can get that at any hobby store. And I used a marker to do these edges. And you're going to want to do something like that because, as I told you, paint and glues can really mess up your edges, and they can give you that sticking feeling every time you go to use it. It's really annoying. So these Sharpies have you know, basically ink in them, so it doesn't stick, and it comes in metallics. This little collection comes in silver, gold, and copper, and I've used them over and over. And of course they come in just about every color to go with what you're making. So that's what I used on this inside rim. I'd like to do a tutorial for you where we line the box with velvet, make a little pillow for the inside. It makes it look very regal and rich. And I'd like to do a video for you where we make a jeweled hasp or clasp closure for this box. But that's another film, and we will do that. I use Sculpti-Gloss glaze for my finish, and it's always reliable, doesn't turn sticky. I used this crazy glue and these to add the gems. And just a tip to you, when you add your gems, indent the space where you're going to put them a little bit. You know, I've got these steel tools. If you don't have something like that, you could use your craft knife to kind of dig out a spot, or you could even use a screwdriver. But make a little spot for your stone, brush in your glue, and then press it in really well. And since it's recessed a little bit, it'll resist being knocked off, and your box will last for a really long time. And the last thing I do, of course, is add the felt to the bottom. After all coatings, everything's gone, nothing to stain this, because once you get some glue on here, believe me, you're not going to get it back off. So there's the felt, goes on last. I think it's great for presentation of a gift. It's almost cheaper than buying wrapping paper in boxes. And it also makes a beautiful product to offer at craft fairs. It's very inexpensive to make. This wooden box cost me less than $1 to buy. Less than one package of clay. And you saw the amounts of coatings and powders. So have fun with this project. If you have any questions, email me busypandora@gmail.com. I love talking to you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.